I was placed into an institution called Daruk Boys Home. I'd just been released. To this day, I can't figure out how I was put in there from running away from home. I was running away from violence to be put into an institution of violence. It fucking made no sense. But anyway, when I'm released to my dad, and I run away again. But this time I think, all right, I'm going to go to fucking Docs and I'm going to say, listen, I'm not trying to run away. I'm not trying to cause trouble. I'm not trying to go back to Daruk or Mount Penang or any of these institutions. For fuck's sake, help me. So they say, we can put you in foster care with some people living in Mount Druitt. I get put into a bedroom that's got 3 adult men in it, 2 bunks. The bunk above me has a convicted predator who preyed on a little girl. On the bed beside me is a convicted predator who preyed on a 2-year-old boy. It doesn't take a scholar to work out what happens with this one, right? Sometime later, my mum reaches out and she says, oh, we're moving to Whyalla, South Australia. I've got a new boyfriend. He's going to work at BHP. I've stopped drinking. We've got our lives together. Bullshit. So I believe her and I go to the foster family because I'm sick of this fucking guy trying to jump in my bed or abuse me everywhere I fucking go. And I say to them, I want to go home. They lose their shit, right? And they give me an ultimatum. If you go back to your mum, you can never come back here. Check, I do that. I'll never forget the day I was returned to my real mother in Mount Druitt. What happens is Les, my abuser, and the woman, the mother, who's a lovely lady, drive me to Bibble. We're in Blackett, where I'm staying, to Bibble, where my mum lives, right? As she pulls up out the front, they stay there while I walk in the house. My mum's drunk, right? Instantly I know I've made a mistake, but my pride now is in the way. I can't walk back out the door and say, I'm sorry, I want to come back. You know, it's sad when the option is to go back and live in a bedroom where you know you're going to be abused, or walk into a house where 2 adults are alcoholics and violent. The minute she walks in, he goes, here he is, little Lord fucking Fontroy. Thinks he's fucking better than everyone. And then I sort of turn almost, I reckon I stunk with fear. I had so much fear that I could hardly move my fucking body. And within minutes, she slaps me across the head and she takes all my clothes and throws them all over the room. And, you know, she said, who do you fucking think you are? Anyway, what ends up happening is about a month later, we drive to Whyalla, and I don't know the distance between what time frames, to be honest. I just know that it took us about 3 or 4 days to drive to Whyalla, South Australia. My mum's boyfriend, my mum, and 4 children in the back, and a dog that's on heat. So it wasn't good. It was. We stopped at every pub on the way. We stayed in Wilcannia, we stayed in Nyngan, and we end up in Whyalla Stuart. The same night we arrive, the 2 of them are drinking until they're actually punching on and having a fight. And so my brother and I intervene, right? I'm trying to fight this adult man who's like only tiny. He's about my height because I'm only little. But he's like small, my mum's tall. The end result is the Johnny Hoppers get called. And the coppers end up saying to my mother, there's nothing wrong with this boy, mate. The problem's you, lady. You know, stop drinking. Of course, we get kicked out. The end result here is that eventually we're walking the streets of Whyalla for 3 days, homeless. And a lady from Centrelink takes pity on us and contacts my real dad. My real dad pays for us to get a bus from Whyalla Stuart to Oxford Street, Sydney. We arrive at Sydney on Oxford Street, and I've said this part of the story before. I get off the bus with my brother, and I'm fucking Lee Marvin, mate. I haven't had a feed in days. And anyway, as we start walking, my dad starts walking, then we walk behind him, my brother and I. My brother's 18 months younger than I am, right? And he turns around and he says, where the fuck you think you're going, bro? You're not coming with me, fuck off. I end up sitting on the bus terminal doing these ones, right? I'm fucking confused. Now my mama don't want me, my foster parents don't want me, my dad don't want me, my mother don't want me. So the only option I have available is foster care or the street. And a man sits down next to me, his name's Terry. They call him Terry the Butcher because he's a butcher, he works in a butcher shop. He's a big, solid looking man, but he speaks really calm and silent. Are you okay, mate? Could I buy you something to eat? And I unload my story to this man. And for a minute I feel safe, and he said, I'll buy you something to eat. And he walks me up Oxford Street and he says, I just live up on the corner here, go upstairs. And I follow him. I got a little bag with everything I own, a shirt and a jumper, a t-shirt, a jumper and a pair of shorts in the bag and what I'm wearing. And anyway, as we're about to go in the door, something in me twigs and thinks, you know, maybe this isn't a good idea to go off with a strange man into a flat. So I fucking say, look, I'm right, mate, I don't want to come in here. He actually grabs me, but he actually grabs the bag. I let the bag go and I fucking bolt down the steps. I get to Foster, I run all the way to Central Station, I catch the train all the way out to Mount Druitt Station, and then I walk all the way to Blackett in Mount Druitt. And then I'm about 4 a.m. in the morning, I get on their house. I don't go around the back because they've got a German Shepherd named Rusty, and I didn't want to alert the foster dad. I knew the foster dad leaves for work at 5 a.m. in the morning, and he's the one that made the most noise about my leaving and not being allowed to come back. So I sit on the veranda doing these ones. I hear him go to work about 5:30 a.m, maybe 6 a.m. The door opens for another guy, walks out having a cigarette, and he said, "Oh, look who's out here, it's Master Fisher." And anyway, what ends up happening is the mother and the father have a big fucking fight over me over the next 24 hours. The foster sister takes me to stay at her place. Their daughter, my foster sister, sorry, takes me to stay at her house with her boyfriend for a night, and then the next morning puts me on a train at Mount Druitt Station, gives me $5 after ringing a refuge in King's Cross called the Opposition Youth Refuge. And there begins my journey as a street kid on the street to King's Cross. I will be reading my book starting next week. I was going to do it on Thursdays, but I'm going to be doing some live videos with Danny Shannon every Thursday night, 9:30 p.m. on TikTok and possibly on Instagram. So, but I'm going to do live readings when I get to 500 followers on YouTube of my book from beginning to end, and I'll be able to explain through each chapter as we go. I've only got 400 followers. I need 500, so 100 more people needs to follow me. So the link is in the bio. Just go to my bio, click on that, and you can join my YouTube page. I'm Glenn Fisher, author of the book Predator's Paradise, founder of the Leg Up Project, and wannabe influencer.